Knowing that your employer is looking for EQ gives you a competitive edge.
Hey, my name is Kwesi, and let me teach you something. Imagine there's one job, and it's down to 2 applicants, both with impressive resumes. The first looks great on paper, but when asked about how they deal with challenges at work, all they talk about is how they alone fix problems. The second candidate responds to the question differently. Their answer includes a mixture of reflection, resourcefulness, and humility. That mixture is emotional intelligence, and it's why candidate 2 got the job. By popular definition, emotional intelligence, or EQ as it's commonly called, is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions and the emotions of others. It's made up of different characteristics and skill sets, all of which can be learned. We can each get better at recognizing, understanding, and managing our own emotions. Having a high EQ, it's like understanding the gears on a bicycle. Think of it this way. Gears help you pedal more efficiently, giving you a smoother and enjoyable ride. They're especially important when you take a road you haven't been on before, when there could be unexpected terrain. Now, it's not enough just to have the gears on the bike. You need to know how to use them. When you understand what each gear really does, as well as when and how it should be used, you'll make the journey much more successful on the road and in your career. We'll dive into how the different gears of EQ can help you during the interview process in a minute. But first, a quick history lesson. The term was first coined in a 1990 research paper authored by 2 psychology professors, Peter Salovey and John Mayer. Not that John Mayer. Unlike IQ, which measures a person's relative intelligence, they define emotional intelligence as a form of social intelligence that involves the ability to monitor one's own and others' feelings and emotions, to discriminate among them, and to use this information to guide one's thinking and action. Now, this idea may have just fallen into academic abyss if it hadn't caught the eye of New York Times science reporter David Goldman. Goldman unpacked the relationship between intelligence and emotion and believed it could send shockwaves across the business world. This commitment even became the framework for his 1995 book, Emotional Intelligence, which was a global bestseller. Later, Goldman and his team of researchers developed the 5 components of emotional intelligence: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. But it's not just researchers who are interested in EQ. Recruiters have found that EQ is one of the stronger predictors for job performance, making these traits desirable in applicants. Here's longtime career coach, Nicole Williams.
Recruiters are looking for candidates with high EQ because these are the people who deal with stress better, who have more collaborative relationships at work, and who understand themselves better and understand how to perform at their optimal level.
In several studies, hiring for EQ has proven to deliver measurable results for organizations. It strengthens teams, fosters learning, increases sales, enhances individual job performance, and it has been found to boost retention. So this is great for companies, but you may be wondering, what's in it for me? Well, one survey found that 75% of HR professionals would promote an employee with high EQ over high IQ. So your emotional intelligence is definitely something to focus on. Let's dive in further to see how it comes up in an interview and how seasoned pros show off their EQ to employers.
I think it's really important to be thinking about interpersonal skills when you're applying for a job. You come ready to the interview to present your technical skills. These are my capabilities, this is my experience, and all of that. And I think in the same way, you want to present your interpersonal skills, your emotional intelligence skills, so to speak, in that same kind of way. So have lots of examples ready. Think of it as kind of your portfolio of interpersonal skills, so that you can draw on those when you're asked specific questions about how did you handle a stressful situation, how did you handle some other difficult interpersonal task, such as giving somebody bad news.
It's not that your IQ or your technical skills don't matter in an interview. They absolutely do. It's like, if you don't know the basics of riding a bike, it really doesn't matter if you use the gears or not. You first got to get the wheels turning. But EQ brings you to the next level and allows you to take more challenges in your career. You may be comforted to know that EQ is not about your personality. It's about your behavior and actions. Your recruiter wants to see that you know how to control your EQ gears in any workplace situation.
Okay, there isn't an all-encompassing set of emotional intelligence questions because they're all going to be situational. The interviewer has broken the job down into the special skills and abilities that a person needs to perform that job. And then the questions are going to test for those things. What you want to think about is that the interview is a test. For example, is in sales, then they're going to ask you questions about your skills in dealing with customers, maybe dealing with difficult customers. What was the outcome? Was it effective?
Now, answering questions isn't the only way to show off your emotional intelligence. Researchers from Harvard University found that people who ask thoughtful follow-up questions, in particular, become better managers and land better jobs than those who don't. To demonstrate motivation in your interview, many applicants talk about their why.
Everyone has a why, and it has to be more than money or more than fame or more than influence. Your why is connected to something personal inside of you. It's connected to your personal motivation and the reason why you do the thing that you do. Your employer is thinking to themselves, why is this person doing the work that they're doing? And the more intrinsically motivated they are to do something of value, the more likely they are to succeed.
Employers are looking for self-awareness during interviews. Several studies show that people who see themselves clearly are better communicators, have stronger relationships, and become more effective leaders with more profitable companies. Here's another important thing to know. Your interview isn't only about showcasing your emotional intelligence. It's also a time for you to learn the emotional pulse of the company.
Is this a place where people are warm and welcoming? Talk to people there, ask questions like, what is it like to work here? You can use sort of your emotional intelligence to kind of assess the emotional climate of the organization and figure out if it's a good fit, if it's the kind of place where you want to work.
The gears of your own EQ are always something you can learn to navigate, and it's critical. Your future employer is looking for evidence of EQ, your EQ. Your emotional intelligence can have an impact on your work satisfaction and your ability to get hired. Yeah. If you enjoyed this video and you learned something, please like and subscribe.
Only with nods.
Ooh.
Yeah, subtle nod.
Oh, Nicole! All right, got it. Let's more calm. Yeah.
All right, yeah.